This week on the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast, Caitlin Clay talks about her trip to the 2024 Professional Disc Golf World Championships.
It's just next level.
And gives us an update on New York Team Challenge.
There's a new team. They're out of the Glens Falls area. I think more specifically Fort Anne.
We also recap the 2024 New York State Disc Golf Championships driven by Innova and sponsored by New Country Toyota of Saratoga Springs. We'll hear from one of the tournament directors, Jamin Hume.
There was just enough rain to make it dramatic on Saturday.
And we'll get round recaps from Alex.
Played about how I thought I should play. Played with Jeremy Kasprick.
Randy.
Well, I don't want to give anyone listening depression, so I think I'll hit the highlights.
Corey.
But looking at the forecast, I knew round 2 at CTK was going to be a shit show as far as rain. I did not expect the amount of wind that was going to be coupled with it.
And Jason.
Went really well.
And we'll finish it off with a round of disc or no disc.
I think Cosmic Rays is... I really like that answer. I think that's right.
Okay.
Stingrays.
Welcome to the Hudson Valley Fantasy Football Podcast, sponsored by the Paint Bureau Pro League and Josh Wynn. This week, we'll meticulously break down Corey and Alex's Week 1 starts and sits. Jamin does a deep dive into who should start at quarterback in Week 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Randy analyzes that weird NFL kickoff rule. And Jason explains to me just how the fuck Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois at home. But first, let's mix it up with a little disc golf talk. We've got a guest that played in the 2024 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championships a couple weeks ago in Lynchburg, Virginia, and happens to be the commissioner for New York Team Challenge, which starts in just a few weeks. Thanks for coming back, Caitlin Clay.
Woo! Woo!
Caitlin, was this your first time at Worlds?
First time.
How'd you get there?
Like, physically, how did I get there?
Yeah, like, did you drive? Did you fly?
I did end up driving because there's a lot of stuff to bring, And Coley lent me his cart, so I had that in tow, too. It's just too much to take on a plane. My parents actually live down there, so driving down is not too bad. I get to stay at their house, free lodging, so worked out well.
What made you decide to want to play in Worlds?
I really wanted to play last year, but Worlds was... I feel like it was pretty soon after the Bro that year, which I played really horrible in. So like going from the Bro, which are the same courses as 2023 Pro Worlds at Smugs, I decided not to sign up last year. And then when I found out Worlds were in Lynchburg, Virginia, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin because, my parents lived there. It'd be so cheap. Like basically all I paid for was the entry fee. So
how many rounds is Worlds?
I personally played 4 rounds, but the tournament is 5.
What's there, like a cut or something?
Yeah, there's a cut for Sunday, the last round.
How does that work? Is it just like a cash line?
I think it was like a few below the cash line. So I think there was a few people that made the cut that didn't cash. I could be wrong on that, but there's also like a pool swap after day 2. So both the FPO and MPO are broken into like an upper pool and a lower pool, and the lower pool will play the opposite course as the upper pool does. So whatever you're seeing on DGN, like the lower pool plays the other course that day. And then after 2 rounds, they take the top 50%. So if you were from the lower pool and you had a high enough rating, you could jump up pools. And then Sunday, they cut to the top 40%.
How was your rounds?
Not great. Rounds 1 and 2 were like pretty average. My first round was at Ivy Hill, the golf course, and I think I had like 15 OB strokes that day. And then the second day we played New London, which is the wooded course. And both of those days I had caddies. One day my little brother caddied for me, and then the other day my boss's young, like 15-year-old son caddied for me. So I think like mentally it was a little harder on me to like socialize with people I'm not used to playing disc golf with, like caddy wise. And then rounds 3 and 4, my husband actually flew down Thursday night. It was my caddy Friday, Saturday, and I improved on both courses by like 8 strokes, I think. So almost like 15 strokes total from the 2 courses. So
when you have a caddy, what's the benefit? Would he make suggestions, or does he just know already what you're going to throw kind of thing? Is there any strategy to it?
So my little brother's like really new into disc golf, so he was kind of more there for the vibes. and holding my bag. And then my boss's son does play and is local to the area. So I was trying to interact with him and like getting him to tell me, oh, like, what do you think I should do on this shot? Or where's the basket? Even though I kind of knew where the basket was already. But and then Garrett does know my game pretty well. So he's actually pretty helpful when he's in caddy.
How old's the boss's son?
He's like 15.
If you played him head to head on that course, would you probably beat him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out if he would have any insight, like being a local. Is it a course he's played that you know of?
Yeah. He's played the course for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not one of those 15-year-old like Wyatt Mahoney 15-year-olds, but he's pretty into disc golf and plays pretty often. So he did know the course pretty well.
But your husband, he knows your game a lot better?
Yeah, he definitely knows everything I would do. The only thing he usually suggests that I never take his advice on is he always wants me to throw a scuba. But other than that, he's pretty helpful.
Does he try to get you to be over aggressive?
No, because I think that's me anyway. So honestly, he probably tells me to play it more safe than I would usually do. So I think when he's there, I go for a middle ground. I'm usually probably not as aggressive when he's there than I usually am.
When you say aggressive, like at what point are you maybe playing it safe on a putt? Like what distance? In a tournament like World?
Personally, I pretty much run everything unless there's like a lot of danger. Unless there's like a cliff drop off behind the basket or something like that, I'll usually run like deep circle 2-putt.
Have you played any of those courses previously?
Yeah, I played both of the courses before, slightly different layouts. So there's a tournament down there called Battle for Bedford. I think it's a B tier. I've been the past 2 years, and last year they incorporated the Ivy Hill golf course into the Battle for Bedford tournament, but they didn't have FPO pads, and the OB was a lot wider than they made it for Worlds. So I was familiar with both courses. I played New London, I think, 3 or 4 times before going down there for Worlds. I definitely prefer wooded golf just because that's what we have up here. We don't have anything like Ivy Hill. I mean, Fox Run's probably the closest comparable course, and that's, pretty far away to play on the regular. So definitely prefer the wooded golf.
What was your favorite hole?
So I don't know if anyone watched any FPO coverage, but there are 2 holes Holland Hanley eagled. I think both of our rounds at New London. I want to say it's hole 6 at New London, and you like start kind of up on a hill and it goes down across like an OB ravine and then back up a hill, and then you turn a sharp left corner and have to cross more OB to like get to an island green. And my second time at New London, I birdied it. I was one of only like 4 birdies of my pool on that hole. So I think just for that reason, that was probably one of my favorite holes.
Nice.
Heck yeah. What disc would you say you use the most?
I have this like really, really beat up first run Orange Grace. And that was probably the disc I throw on 75% of my tee shots.
At the end of it, what percentage of you was relieved compared to bummed to not play the 5th round?
I don't think physically I could have made it through another round. I think paired with like the mental exhaustion, it was so much. Like when you don't do this every weekend like they do, like it really takes a lot out of you. So I was not that is not a goal, right? But like I definitely enjoyed going and walking the entire last round, watching different cards. So
you mentioned your favorite hole. What was your least favorite hole?
Least favorite hole, there's this one hole at the golf course, Ivy Hill. I can't remember the number, but basically it was like a flat, like 350 to cross OB. And so I just had 0 chance of like making it across this OB. So that one was a bummer because it's just like mentally you walk up and you're like, well, I'm at least going to get a bogey because I can't even get across this OB.
Not the 955 or the 872 in New London?
No, honestly, those ones aren't too bad. The whatever 900 feet hole or whatever that one is, it's a pretty wide fairway. I don't know what it looks like on coverage, but like all you have to do is stay in the middle and you'll like get a par or at least a bogey. So that one's not too bad.
It's weird. I'm looking and New London has a 955 and an 872, which are, it looks like the 2 longest of the day, but the other course, Ivy Hill, is actually longer overall.
Yeah, there was one at Ivy that was like, 800 something feet, I think. But that one is very downhill, whereas like New London's pretty flat.
Actually, two. There's an 834 hole 10 and hole 18 is 814. So, and 850 on 14. Yeah, there's 3 800s. Never mind. That makes up for the difference. Okay. Crazy. Yeah, because at least New London, you got a 305.
Yeah, you got shorter holes to make up for
280. Yeah. So do they know where Worlds is next year?
It's in Finland.
Oh, you going to that?
Garrett really wants to go, so we're probably going to put it on the calendar. He wants to go for vacation purposes, so.
Why would you want to go? Would you want to go for vacation or for redemption?
Oh, I'll go and play disc golf for sure. I mean, I think, what is the course there? Isn't it called the Beast or something? Something like that.
That doesn't bode well. Does anybody know?
Yarva? Is it that one? I think you're right. That's the nickname is the Beast. I just don't remember the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't remember the rest of it either, but it looks like a pretty fun course. I think I'd go to play, half vacation.
You have a passport?
Yeah.
Have you been outside of the Americas, the North or the Southern varieties?
Yeah, I've been to Europe. My parents took me on a graduation trip to Germany, so I've been to Germany. But
Have you played disc golf there?
no disc golf overseas.
Where's the farthest for you?
I don't know. It's honestly not that far. I mean, Florida's pretty far away. And then I went to Ledgestone. I guess that's pretty far.
Where's that?
Illinois?
Peoria, yep.
Yeah, that's what I
Peoria.
was thinking. I wasn't sure.
It's a really cool experience. So if anyone's thinking of going and has the opportunity to sign up, I would highly recommend not caring how you go and do, but just go for the experience.
Jamin, you've played Worlds, right?
Yep.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Nope.
I think I was eligible for like AM Worlds, like one of the last years I played MA1, but logistically, I mean, it would have cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Not even just counting like the time I'd take off from work, but I think at that point it would have been going to Illinois or Indiana or Kansas or one of those shitty states out there in the Midwest, and to like drive out there plus hotels and everything else. It's like I don't know if I want to spend $7,000 on this right now.
Not to mention all the repairs on the cars on the way. And
Yeah, you'd have to bring a welder on the way.
Yeah.
You mean an actual the machine, Randy, or an actual guy who welds?
No, like you'd have to at least
On
weld his
retainer.
frame back together on the way.
They like hire a mobile welder to come be my caddy.
Yeah, no, the secret is you just bring Harry Lehman with you. Just because I'm curious and I kind of got TDing on my mind. What makes Worlds different from like a big event like Brewster Ridge or something similar to that? Like, are there significant differences between like a big local event versus, one of the biggest events on tour?
The only other tour event like I went to was Ledgestone. I mean, I played the AM side, but like I hung out and watched the pro side because at that time they were still doing those at the same weekend. It's just next level. Like they had a lot of vendors, like they had a whole like vendor village there, just like the amount of advertisements and stuff put up. They had like so many things for the players. Like they had the golf course pool open, food was provided every single day for the players. At Ivy Hill, they had these like VIP huge tents set up where like anyone with a VIP badge, including players, can like go stand under some shade and get like anything from a cooler, a bunch of snacks and stuff like that. And whenever I like at Ledgestone, and then the other event was just a silver event I went to at the AFDO, but like they didn't have anything like that. So
you said it was like your parents were right there. Would you have gone otherwise, you think?
I guess it depends because like Corey was saying, things really add up. So it depends like how much plane tickets would have cost, or like was it driving distance? How much would have lodging cost? Because like if my parents weren't in Lynchburg and Worlds was in Lynchburg, my answer would still be yes, because things are like dirt cheap down there. But Vermont, for example, like when Garrett and I went for just the Bro, which isn't even Worlds, it's just like a slightly long weekend. We paid like $900 in accommodations, like at an Airbnb. So it's like, I think it all depends on like what location it's at and how much money it costs to get there. That's
the Brewster Ridge Open, correct?
Yeah.
We probably already talked about it, Jamin and Jason. You guys said you both had played. Jamin, where was yours?
Last year at Smuggler's Notch.
And Jason, same or different?
2018 Vermont, same courses, just
Different year.
Yeah, different
That was back before you were playing MP40, right?
year. Yeah.
All right. You just became the commissioner for New York Team Challenge. Did you make a mistake?
No, I feel pretty good right now.
Has it been a busy off season? I know you don't have anything to compare it to, but
Not until like the recent couple weeks. I kind of put everything off and started working on stuff after Worlds just because I knew I didn't have a lot of time leading up to that point. So I think like during Worlds week on my downtime, I started thinking about scheduling options and stuff like that. But last week, like we got the schedule set and we're working on a few rule changes, but other than that, it's pretty low key, except fielding a couple of rogue questions here and there.
well, I hear there's a new team.
Yes, there's a new team. They're out of the Glens Falls area. I think more specifically, Fort Anne is the actual town the course is in. It's going to be Albatross Creek, which is at, what's the name of the golf course? Hartford Green.
Have you played there?
I haven't played there. Has anyone else played there yet? No.
Have not.
I haven't played myself, but I'm pretty sure a couple of the Stony Kill crew, whether or not that's the Chatham Hills crew, but like Stony Kill locals went up and played relatively recently and sent some cool pictures back.
Do we know what type of course it is?
Mostly wooded, from what I understand.
Yeah. From looking at the pictures, it's pretty wooded.
During the Stony Kill Scramble, I was on the card with Joe Caron and Terry Hudson. Before hole 1, well, we started in hole 12. Thanks again, Alex. But before we started, before we started, they were talking about it. I was like, I should really ask them a few questions. But then we were getting going, so I didn't have an opportunity. So I guess Joe has got some kind of involvement. Who are the captains?
Yeah, Joe Caron and Jacob Dunbar are the two captains.
And you still got more than a month, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When do teams have to have like their official roster with their subs in by? Is there a date?
So like subs don't have to be set, and we haven't actually changed the rule yet for subs. But I had teams submit rosters and I asked them to be done, I think mid-September, just because I want to get like a league spreadsheet going. So I want to have a spreadsheet of all the teams' rosters that all the other captains can see. So I think most teams have theirs in. Actually, I haven't checked in a few days, but I think I'm just waiting for like 1 or 2 more.
We talked about that a couple weeks ago, right? That whole sub thing. Has there been any movement on that?
So we have an official vote up, which I said I was going to close Saturday, but I had a really busy weekend, so it's still open. I haven't checked today if all the captains had voted, but pretty much we've already had a majority vote for the roster reserves over the roster moves. So it's a change that's semi-official, just not written into the charter yet.
Well, how many people would it be if it does go official? Reserves, is that what they're called?
Yeah, the reserves. In the official rule proposal I made to the captains, it would be 5 male, 4 female.
Reserves?
Reserves, yep.
That seems like a lot, or no?
It's more than I wanted it to be, but I think it's still reasonable to the point where, you know, a team's not having 15 roster moves.
But it does address the biggest issue, which would have been like if there's somebody who can't, for whatever reason, they're done for the year kind of thing. Maybe they twist their ankle on the course. Does anybody have a problem with those numbers?
I'm with Kaylin. I think it's a little high, but
Yeah.
But you're probably a little high right now, Corey. So
no, dude, I have not consumed a single 18 plus substance, and okay, I've had 2 beers I think in the past week and a half, but I've been clean cut, baby.
Is that why you're so miserable the other day? No.
No, that was because Brian told me specifically he was not going to keep me at States and be the last person in the parking lot, even though we were the first ones there. And then circumstances that were out of his control, kind of, almost kept us there late. But
I just love it because I always have that same conversation with you.
I don't want to fucking be here. I wanted to be home 45 minutes ago. I had a whole plan of going home and being a piece of shit for the rest of the day and watching Disc Golf Network, but I'm still here.
We're the first ones here. We're the last ones to leave every time.
This is what I get for driving a piece of shit Nissan that broke the rear subframe on me this morning.
that sounds exactly like he sounded at CTK the one time he was trying to get out of there.
Yeah, it's a recurring thing.
Has there been any discussion about breaking the second, third place ties for finals?
There's been discussion. The other poll that we have up in the captain's chat is the finals formatting, so determining the second place. So right now, I won't go over all the options, but the majority of votes have been to a 9-hole third match of doubles matches with overtime, and we're going to change it because we have the extra team's worth of dues to both second and third get paid out from that match. So people care a little bit more about it and will want to play.
Cool. Sounds fun.
Randy, anything?
No, for a peek behind the curtain, I was interested in the tiebreaker scenario for second and third, and I kind of wrote up a bunch of options, pretty much all stuff we talked about on this podcast in the past month or two, and gave it to Kate, and she kind of tweaked it and posted it. So no, she kind of nailed it. It seemed like pretty much everyone except Dave Hudson voted for that option. Sorry,
Is that
Dave.
the option you wanted, Randy?
No, it's not the option I wanted. It's just I wanted to propose a quick, medium, and a long time commitment. Long being like a full third round, medium being a 9-hole round, and then quick being a 3-hole doubles playoff of your team's champions. So just 2 people from each team in a 3-hole playoff with overtime, I guess. So, giving it 3 holes to have a chance to take luck out of it. You don't want a 1-hole or a sudden death playoff and, something crazy happens, the other team wins because of it. So at least 3 holes to make it less of a lucky thing. But nobody liked that except Dave. Sorry, Dave.
I've seen his name and stuff, so he must be feeling better.
I saw him at SPAC. He was full of energy. So
that's
I think
good.
I think he's ready to play again.
Big name back for the Stony Killers for New England Team Challenge. So that's nice.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's saying, oh, I'm not going to play well. It's been so long. He's going to absolutely shred. I guarantee it. Yeah,
absolutely.
The one time I saw him, he played pretty well with an injury. Unless he has one of those situations like Kat had where she had to readjust after, being pregnant. Maybe he picked up some bad habits being injured. But other than that.
No, I think he went cold turkey. I don't think he played at all for a long stretch to just not risk re-injury or because it was something pretty severe. So he took it easy and then eased back into it. So I think he'll have good habits coming back.
Corey, any predictions?
Yeah, J Park, undefeated and going straight to finals and taking all the money. And none of our reserves players are getting paid.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
I think part of that's right, but none of your reserve players are getting paid because none of your regular players are getting paid either.
Oh
no, that's because we're not gonna charge our reserve players until we figure out how many rounds they play for. Unlike you guys, all of your guys' teams, you freaking cheapskates, are going to be charging your reserve players double.
Is that a textbook straw man argument? You just made something up and then railed against it?
Yeah, I guess so. If that's the definition of a straw man argument, then yes, I'd agree.
I'm still trying to figure out what that means. Sorry.
We don't have to explain it.
I have an explanation, but I don't want to get into it.
No, it might be in trivia tonight. We don't want to.
Is the straw man.
Yeah.
So, Caitlin, you mentioned that this past weekend was super busy, but I didn't see you didn't play States or Artemis?
No, unfortunately. I still play Ultimate Frisbee, so this was our big weekend that we lead into all season, throughout the summer. We do kind of like a playoff, so each area of the country have what's called a sectionals tournament. So your team will go and play sectionals to try to qualify for the next level up, which is regionals. And then from regionals, you can go to nationals. So this weekend was our sectionals tournament. So I was out in Nowhereville, Batavia, New York, playing Frisbee.
And how'd it go?
It went really well. Our team did the best we've ever done. We qualified for regionals, which is the first time a mixed team from the Albany area has qualified in probably 10 to 12 years. So
nice.
Got a few other disc golfers that play on our team too, like David Koch and Ian Doughton. He doesn't play that much, but he's on the wrenches. So shout out to them as well.
Well, see, I thought that David Koch was a former athlete.
He's still a current athlete.
That was your team name, right, Randy?
Oh, it was. It was mostly a stab at him. Yeah. I don't think he should play Ultimate anymore, is I guess what I was saying.
All right. Well, like I mentioned, this past week, we had both States and Artemis Unchained. We did picks for States, but not for Artemis Unchained 4. So I feel like we should talk about Artemis first. Before we go over the results, though, let's hear from the tournament director, Andy Romansky.
What a day. Artemis Unchained 4 took over FDR like a storm yesterday, rain included. As a TD, I am humbled by the atmosphere created by the absolute force of volunteers, players, caddies, and those who stopped by to show support. We had players representing 6 different states in FPO alone. Thank you, everyone, for helping us create such a memorable event and the largest women's event in our area. Thank you to my incredible assistant TDs, Barrett Jones and Kristen McDonald, for all the hard work from start to finish. Artemis would not be the same without you. And a special thank you to Joshua Isaac and Belle Watson for the extraordinary support from the start of the day until the very end.
And Sparkle coordinator Kristen McDonald.
One of my favorite days of the year. So many amazing women came out in force to FDR and competed on a particularly soggy Saturday. But you'd never know how much it rained if you experienced just how electric everyone's energy was. Seeing new players, seasoned athletes, competitors from all over the Northeast. Andy Romansky and Bara Jones allowed me the privilege of helping bring this event to life for its 4th year, and even Ivan Pantera got in on the glitters. You ladies are both shining examples of growing the sport. I cannot wait to see how we evolve for 2025.
All right. In case you were wondering if I could do 2 female British voices that were different. I'll go over the results. Actually, Andy posted them, so I'll just read from there. Congratulations to our Artemis 4 champions. FJ12 was won by Kayla Denig. FA4 was Kayla Kuzmich. Tessa Hareen won FA3. Stephanie Tashner won FA2. Sherry Boyd, FA60. FA50 was won by Arita Masters. FA40 was Stacy Blasdell. Kelly Turpening in FA1. And your FPO winner, Cassandra Leoy. Have you played with her, Caitlin?
Cass is probably one of the people I play most frequently with.
Did I pronounce her last name correctly?
Yeah, Leoy.
Okay. I've been saying it for years. I just didn't know if I was saying it correctly for years. Blue division was Kyle Villette. Purple division, Susan Farquharson. Longest putt was Amanda Borgman, and CTT, Kristen McDonald. The good news is next year it won't be on the same week as states, but ended up with 62 players.
Awesome.
I didn't really put 2 and 2 together that they're on the same weekend, and like the female turnout at states makes a lot of sense.
Oh, because states had a lesser female showing?
Yeah. I mean, there was only 2 people in FPO, and I'm not sure what the other divisions were like, but I feel like if I was a female player, then I would probably choose Artemis as well.
It looks like every division had either 2 or 3.
The past New York states that I've been to has also, regardless of Artemis being on the same weekend or not, because I don't think it is every year, but it's New York State's always usually has a pretty low female turnout.
This year, how many female-only tournaments have you played in, Caitlin? Or even the last couple of years?
That's a good question. I feel like it's only a handful still. This year, so far, I've played in 4 female-only, and I still have 1 more to go. So 5 total.
In the 4 that you've played, what were the total players?
Oh, well, one of them was the WGE. That one had 100, and that one was hosted at Maple Hill. Sunstein Open had only 35. The tournament I ran at SPW had 32. But the one that I'm going to in a few weeks, the Clement Farm Women's Open, is sold out, so 72. And it also has 25 on the wait list, so it's pretty big.
Last year, they had 43 at Artemis and 38 in 2021.
That was their first year.
So 38, 38, 43, 62. That's tournament growth.
Yep.
And I think this is the first year competing. Well, States was at FDR. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Okay. So they wouldn't have had it on the same weekend. So that's not too shabby, I don't think.
Fun fact, Artemis in 2022 was and still is my highest rated round ever.
What was it rated?
I shot a 974, which I'm going back, was a -8 on the short basket.
Heck yeah.
Never
That's
have
pretty
done
solid.
that again. I don't even know how that happened, but it did.
Sounds like you were putting the disc in the basket.
Or near it. Because, yeah, I could look at yellows and say, yeah, there's 8 holes on here that I could get close enough to get a birdie. But to do them all in the same round and then not to screw up the other 10 holes, that's saying something is all I'm saying. That's impressive. All right, so before we get to the states, Friday night, Northway Brewery hosted the New York State Disc Golf Putting Championship, and our correspondent, Joe Caron, was there to report on it. He says, big turnout to the New York State Disc Golf Putting Championship at Northway Brewery this past Friday. 84 people in total showed up. A mix of men, women, and juniors played a 14-hole layout organized and designed by Greg Hill. Huge shout out to Greg, his family, and all the others responsible for making this event run so smoothly. Great beers, music, and food provided at the event made it such a fun time. Did anybody here go there?
Yes, Randy and I were there.
Oddly enough, I knew Caitlin was there. Randy, I didn't know you were there, but...
Yeah, no, it's fine. The Champions Trophy that Kate won is in my drying rack next to the sink right now. So I feel like the real winner.
Yeah, you are the real winner.
Let me go over the winners, and then I'll ask Kate more about the round. Junior winners, Nina came in third, Maddox in second, and Granger. Actually, Maddox and Granger we heard of in the putting league during the season. Women's division, fourth place were Rachel Radiker and Kathleen Bemis. Third place, Casey Gilson. Second place, Amber Stout. And your winner, Caitlin Clay.
Woo.
So it was 14 holes, only one time through?
Yeah, one time through.
Did you play during the regular season of the putting league?
Yeah. I typically go pretty much every week.
How different was it, or was it very similar to that?
Yeah, it was pretty similar in style. Like a lot of the whole concepts are the same. Like we usually have like one going up the steep staircase, one going through water, stuff like that. So like the spirit of the course was the exact same it was throughout the whole winter. I would say the holes were slightly easier. Greg likes to make them very, very tough over the winter. And there was also no champ cap, so that aided in the ease of the course.
I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
What was that?
The champ cap, it's like the cap you put over the basket that has like the holes that you have to putt through.
Okay.
Yeah. That hole, the hole Greg usually puts the champ cap on is also the hardest hole he makes for the night. So it's a relief when there's no champ cap.
Yeah, with the 3 putts instead of 2 and no champ cap, I think it really brought the bogey-free night into play. And he probably wanted that since it was kind of a one-off event to have somebody hit it. And I think it was shared by 2 people. So it worked.
That was Greg and Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
The men's division, 5th place, Dean Ronaldo, Tyler Calzada in 4th, Joe Karen, now I know why he sent it to me, in 3rd, Miguel Thomas in 2nd, and Greg Barsby, shocker, is your men's winner. It didn't put points, was it?
It was close, yeah. Miguel, I think, only lost by 2.
Yeah, I think so.
And there was an ace pot. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there like an ace hole like after you finished the round or something? Is that, or no?
Yep, it was the same as the winter. You're standing pretty far in the back of the parking lot, throwing toward the building to a basket that's in a like truck port area. So it's a little bit downhill. Yeah, pretty standard compared to the regular season.
Real quick, speaking of ace holes.
Oh, whoa.
Just scrolling on Facebook, and I think I found out why Randy was late today. Taking down hole 2 red at Colonial Acres with the ace. So nicely done, Randy.
Thanks. It was pretty satisfying. Got me back on track during my Cali round, so it was good.
Okay. Hey, whoa. Was it your first or second shot?
No, it was a Cali ace. I had it parked already, so I just sent one. Yeah.
So you donated half of it back to the club, right?
Absolutely not. No. It was all like $40. I'll hang on to that.
So you aced hole 2. Did you get $750?
Oh, why'd you bring that up? No, I got like a month's worth of entry stuff. So it was like 40. I think it was $43, which is still my most lucrative ace ever compared to my like $27 ace at SPW. So I'm moving up, I'll take it.
Heck yeah. So 2024 New York State Disc Golf Championships driven by Innova, sponsored by New Country Toyota of Saratoga Springs. Am I right there?
Yeah, I didn't include the of Saratoga Springs part.
You can't fit that on here. It would run out of letters. Yeah. Tournament director Jamin Hume, assistant tournament director Greg Hill. So how'd it go, Jamin, from your perspective?
It went well. I can only speak for the A pool because that's the only place I was, but everything worked out pretty well both days. There was just enough rain to make it dramatic on Saturday. I'm sure everybody else is going to say there was too much rain on Saturday, but I was inside for it, so it kept the scores interesting for sure. But no, everything went super well. Everything is wrapped up at this point, and I am happy for that.
Heck yeah. And your next tournament is 2025?
Yeah, I was going to say I would like to refer to the fact that I invited everybody to lock me in a room if I advertise another tournament this year. I'm not joking. But You don't have to worry about that because I am tired and I'm not going to be running it. Yeah, so no, I am taking a break. And this week I'm like forcing myself not to do any coursework, although I already messed it up. I did some coursework today. The numbers that go in the basket for Moreau arrived on Friday. So I was like, well, I'm not getting it done, the day before the tournament. I'm not getting it done the morning of the tournament. So I did it today while I was cleaning up a couple of course things. But it's always weird when something you've been like singularly focused on for like 7, 8, 9 months is over, but it went really well. I think everybody had a good time. I had a good time, and I'm happy it's over.
You mentioned doing coursework after the tournament. Is there a different feeling when it's coursework that doesn't have to be done by a specified time, when it's just something you want to do as opposed that you feel like you have to do to get it done?
Yeah, it all kind of feels the same to me. I don't know. It's all coursework.
That's fair. All right. So as usual, I'll go over the winners, and then as we get to your divisions, we'll hear about your round. Sound good?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. FA3 division, women's amateur 3, Kat Backman won that by an incredible amount of strokes. MA3, mixed amateur 3, Charles Carpenter Jr. III. Is he in the wrong division? Because I didn't say his name a lot in last week in disc golf.
There's been some discussion there. By the ratings, he is in a division that he is legal to play in, and he had some concerns with like injuries and stuff, if I remember correctly. But I think the general consensus is he could have stepped up at least one division and still been pretty dang fine.
So that's a good explanation. If he had some injury concerns and such. FA2, women's amateur 2, was Megan Bursell. She beat Amanda Dunbar. MA2, mixed amateur 2, Cody Conine. That's a name we'll hear again later when we get to the picks. Beat Joshua Lee. MA60, mixed amateur 60, Greg Keys by a stroke over Josh Pallor. That's a wedgie. Oh, Gary Mason was out there too. Nice. I always enjoy a Gary Mason sighting. I'm sorry. MA55, Robert Virginia took it over James Reed. MA50, mixed amateur 50, Ron Tyre, the British spelling, beat Christopher Jardin. MA40, mixed amateur 40, Michael Smith, another name that we've heard.
Yeah, not surprised by that one.
By 2 strokes over Bradley Lash and 4 strokes over Terry Hudson. FA1, women's amateur 1, Megan Mercier by 4 strokes over Julia May Marger. MA1, Alex Potts in 3rd place. How'd that go? Have you played these courses before?
I have played Moreau twice, and one of the times I played Moreau was only the front 9. It was for the Philo Brathwaite clinic that they put on, I guess it was 2021, 2022. And CTK I've played loads of times. Awesome course. One of my favorites. But yeah, started out at Moreau, played about, how I thought I should play. Played with Jeremy Kasprick, which I don't know if we want to get into that now or if we want to push that.
We can get into that whenever you want to get into that.
Yeah, so played with Jeremy Kasprick and Chuck Gordon Jr., 2 great guys. We were flying through the course. We were a threesome behind another threesome.
You asked if you wanted to get into that. Had he listened?
At the time, he had not listened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So I didn't bring it up. But yeah, after that first round, I was starting to regret my choice for sure. Had a great time playing with them. Things went relatively smoothly. Nothing too fancy out there. Had a little bit of a backup on a hole. One of the spotters was a little bit new and was holding people up on a par 4 until everyone had putted out. So we had a bunch of people who were backed up, probably could throw their first shots, but were still being held back. But we were able to talk to her a little bit and get everything resolved there. Yeah, and the whole time we were looking at the forecast and being like, well, the rain is supposed to start as round 2 is starting, so we'll see how that goes. Round 2, feeling okay. Had a pretty good card. Played with Max Horowitz. Justin Park was also on the card. No, it was another threesome. That's what it was. Pretty smooth there. So the rain hit us. We were putting out on hole 6. So we were about to walk up to hole 7, which is, the highest point on the course. And that's when the storm really hit us. So we were all just trying to get off that helipad as quickly as possible. Just get down onto the ground where it's not as windy and not as terrible there. Everybody had a pretty good tee shot, but then everybody went OB on their second shot. So that always throws things off.
Jamin, was there any concern, and I don't know what the weather was up there, so was there ever any concern about pausing the round?
I was kind of hoping that I was going to be able to pause the round. It was miserable out. Like,
I know it's not my turn to talk yet, but because that had come up on our card as like, oh man, maybe there'll be lightning so we can delay. That would have been the worst thing, because all it would have done, like if anyone looked at the radar, you would have seen that this rain is not going to stop. The only thing that we'd be able to do is to try to get through it as fast as possible. So if we had a lightning delay, that means we would have had to just wait longer and then play longer in the rain. And when the storm came in, the temperature dropped like 15 degrees. It went from being like low 70s to upper 50s really fast.
Yeah.
Fall hit in a hurry.
Yeah, I was a bit frustrated because, I've been carrying around that Upper Park Shift as my main bag, which I've really enjoyed. But the minute I tried to put a hoodie and 2 water bottles into it, it was a little bit small for what I was trying to do. And with the Rainfly on top of that, it was getting a little bit complicated. So I was very happy when I had the chance to take the hoodie out and actually wear it and not feel uncomfortable and have everything together there. Yeah, we were able to get into the woods relatively quickly because we just had 7, 8, 9 out in the open. Played pretty calm. Stayed at 5 over for the round, which was, reasonably good. And then, going into round 3, I had just barely snuck my way onto lead card. It was a little bit heartbreaking because I was playing with Justin Park, who was ahead of me going into the last hole, which is hole 16. And that hole just absolutely ate his lunch. I think he ended up taking an 8 on that hole to drop him down to chase card and bump me up to lead card, which you hate to see somebody else mess up, but it did benefit me, so I can't complain too much.
So that means going into round 3, you're on a card with Jeremy Cashbrick. Had he heard at this point?
Still hadn't heard it at that point. Okay. And I wasn't even really thinking about it at that point. Mm-hmm. It was me, Max Horowitz, who was on my card in day 2, and he was playing really well. And Ethan Hatters rounded out that card.
I was going to say, you're on lead card at a B tier, Alex. I hope you're not thinking about a podcast at this point.
There's something to be said about being relaxed about things like that.
Good point.
But yeah, I was going into it and I'm just like, I'm on lead card. If I can stay close to these guys, then I'm feeling all right. But Jeremy was running off the back of a 996 rated round, which was even par in the rain. And I think he said he had like a missed 20-footer on his last hole, which would have put him to 1,000 rated. So he was feeling really, really good about how he was playing that day. But yeah, I think Ethan and Jeremy were tied going in at like 5 strokes ahead of me. So I'm like, I'm probably not catching these guys. I'm just going to play golf and hope I don't blow up. And that's basically what I did. I ended up shooting 1 over. The rain was all done, but the wind was still out there, especially on those open holes. So I took a couple of bogeys on some of the holes that, I'd really be hoping to birdie. But as the day was going on, it became increasingly clear that I had plenty of space behind me and plenty of space ahead of me to hold on to that 3rd spot. So yeah, I was just playing disc golf, feeling good.
Well, and you moved up a spot. You came in at 4th, right?
Yeah. Max Horowitz was in 3rd coming in, but he was on our card. And, after a certain point, you start putting in bogey, and you start to get the feeling that he's slipping a little bit, which it's a long weekend, really windy. You can't blame him for that. A very good player, fun to play with. But yeah, so CTK is, if you're off a little bit, it can really take your score up.
Was it a shotgun start or tee times?
Yeah, shotgun start again for Sunday.
What time?
9 o'clock start. Yeah, pretty standard. Got through the round relatively quickly. Hung out. Was surprised to see that there was a 3rd place trophy for MA1. Really happy with that. I have that on my desk now. I think that might be my first disc golf trophy. So feeling really good about that.
You're gonna try to get more? Or?
I mean, I'm gonna try. Whether or not I do is a whole nother question.
You're hooked.
He wasn't trying before.
I'm gonna try to play well. Whether I get a trophy is, it'll be good if I get a trophy. But the goal is not get a trophy. The goal is play well.
But if you do one, you get the other.
Generally. I'm not going to sign up for a tournament just because it has trophies.
I know what tournament I'm running next year. Everyone gets a trophy.
Nice.
I would expect you to run that kind of tournament, Randy.
That'd be rad, right?
The participation annual.
They're all rocks.
They're all painted rocks.
Yeah, they're just rocks they painted.
Oh, this guy signed up 2 days before. I got to go paint a rock.
I'm a procrastinator. I'm up all night painting rocks, no matter when people sign up.
I wish I had one of those rocks. So
Should have played.
To sort of finish things out, because I'm sure that clip is playing through everyone's minds at this point. All right, maybe I have to pick an MA1 then. Jeremy Kasprick is not great. Not
You don't
local.
have to say that.
No, he's a good player. He's just not local. Jeremy messaged me this morning, saying he was basically rolling on the floor laughing about about what I had said last week. So I'm glad he took it the right way. And I'm glad he proved me wrong, both on the intended meaning and the incidental meaning. So yeah, really good tournament from him. Played 2 out of the 3 rounds with him. Always fun playing with him.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, it's not like it was mean-spirited. Otherwise, I would have deleted it. So,
clean run tournament. Didn't have any issues. No administrative stuff that I thought was weird or anything like that. Yeah, felt good about things.
Is that your best finish at a B tier?
It must be. I've only played a handful of B tiers.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, I can take a look, but I'm almost sure of it. It's got to be.
Alex forgot the most important part, which is that he rolled up to Tournament Central on day 1 with like 3 dozen cider donuts for me.
Figured I'd bring in something. It was fresh in my mind that I never remember to eat on TD days. So.
Well, it sounds to me like Jamin gained 20 pounds if you brought him 3 dozen donuts.
I tried as hard as I could.
Because I had to leave so early, I went in late to the place that makes them, and they make some really good cider donuts. They're my favorite. I'm always looking forward to those come fall. Golden Harvest is the name of the place in Valencia. And the guy just kept giving me more donuts because, it was the end of the day and they weren't going to be able to, sell day-old donuts.
Timing is everything.
Exactly.
All right. Mixed Pro 65, Greg Kurtz won it over John Furman. MP 60, Mixed Pro 60 was Danny Parton over Dave Chaikin. And then over in the MP 40 division, how'd that go, Jason?
Went really well.
All right.
Good talk.
Did you do Moreau CTK as Alex?
Yeah, same layouts.
You played Moreau one time before this?
Yeah, that was my second time ever playing Moreau. So my personal best. Yeah, I got an ace on the first round in Moreau on hole 1.
But not hole 2?
Not hole 2. I was really close though.
How long is hole 1?
According to the sign, 300 feet, I think, or just over it.
Yep, 301.
All right. Well, good to know you can throw it over 300. Okay.
It's uphill too.
Okay.
It plays probably like what, jamming like 330, 340?
Yeah, somewhere at 330.
I mean, I was throwing a T-Bird, so
Kind of a low ceiling too, right?
yeah. But yeah, through like a beat in T-Bird, through the middle gap, kind of went upper right and then hyzered in. I knew like 2/3 of the way through the throw that it was going to go in. So I started calling it. And it was cool because it was on hole 1. So other people were there, like Dave Martin and those saw it too. So there's a lot of excitement.
But was there more excitement than what was going on the football field for the flag football game or whatever the hell was going on down there?
I yelled pretty loud, so I think they all looked at me.
Yeah. What are these dorks throwing frisbees screaming about? My kids out here scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, what just happened up there? No, that was great. I got to witness Jay Gorsage's first 1,000 rated round. That was fun to watch. He was like putting phenomenal. I think he was using like 2 discs the whole round, maybe the whole weekend. Like he's got a couple discs that he's really good with. Yeah, and then won my division and Jamin broke my trophy.
No, the wind broke your trophy.
The wind did.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really poor timing.
Yeah.
That was so rough.
I hot glued it back together. It's
Well,
fine.
it's not my fault nobody stood by the tent where all the trophies were set up.
Yeah, we decided we wanted to stand in the middle of the parking lot to the point where everyone had to drive by us and we had to move out of the way every single time. And nobody wanted to move.
Yeah.
So that's just where we were.
Yeah, I was actually like thinking about that today. I was like, man, of course nobody wants to stand over there. You got to like walk by a weird little garden. There's like stuff over there. And I was like, Mindkill's got the perfect setup. So this is the level of like just dumb shit I think about.
So Jason aced hole 1. Were there any other non-hole 2 aces on the weekend?
No, that was the only ace. So we split the ace pot up in between the A pool and the B pool. There was $495 in it combined. And in the A pool, there was 270. In B pool, there was 225. Even though there was more people, the B pool, people just don't believe in themselves. So yeah, Jason got $270 for that, and the other $225 is being donated to Throw Pink.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I witnessed several chain flashes or chain outs and 1 or 2 cage hits as well. So I really thought somebody else was going to do it, but nobody that I saw at least.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty confident after hole 1, and I went for the ace on hole 2. I had to been inches from it, but then when I didn't get it and I saw where my lie was, like I was like, oh, now I got to make this putt. So coming backwards. But yeah, it was aside from some rain round 2 and some windy conditions round 3, I thought the weather was nice. The temperatures were nice. Definitely felt fall coming in. I'm still like learning the cart game. Like there's a lot of stuff that I normally pack in my bag that I didn't have in my cart. And also I didn't think to bring like a hoodie or a sweatshirt, but man, I could have used it Sunday. It was pretty cold.
Things you got to learn when you move up to the MP40s.
Yeah.
You got to get the cart. Just to point out, Jason Gorsuch got you by 1 stroke even with your ace in round 1.
Yeah, it was close going into the final round. I think both Jason and Brian were within 5 strokes. And at CTK, I mean, anything can happen. I love CTK, and I think that I play that course really well. So I was pretty confident going in. But with high winds and some of the OB on the open holes, it's really easy to rack up points. And there could be a 5 or 6 stroke swing without a doubt.
But that wasn't the case, and you held on.
No, yeah, final round I shot really well. Almost 1,000 rate around again. And yeah, took down MP40. Good win before Tim Zielinski in a couple weeks, which Jason Gorsuch is also going to be down there. So hopefully, we'll be on the same card down there.
Where's that?
North Carolina.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so Jason Gorsuch in 2nd, Brian Bickersmith in 3rd. FPO Women's Pro Open, no Caitlin Clay, but Carly Calzada is your winner over Amber Stout there. And then to the MPO. Randy, how'd it go?
Well, I don't want to give anyone listening depression, so I think I'll hit the highlights. But no, Moreau, I only played it twice, and I don't know, it was like, even though I'd practiced it twice, every tee shot I was like debating what disc to throw. It was like, I think if I'd practiced it more, maybe it was like a disc down decision and try to like hit the gaps hard. I was trying to be a little bit too much like finesse versus just like take the putt you get. I was trying to think about like the perfect type of angle or like disc for the hole, and probably should have just thrown like 4 discs the whole time. But that round was actually completely fine. I just didn't get birdies. It was like a lot of, late tree kicks or like good scramble throws. I was putting well. Like I left that round being like, that was a weird round of disc golf where I got 2 birdies and 1 bogey, and the birdies were on the complete ends of my round. It was like my 3rd hole and my last hole were my birdies. So it was just like a long stretch of pars, and my only bogey was like an obstructed putt, like straddling around a tree kind of thing. So, was actually confident leaving that round, even though I was pretty far down the leaderboard. And then we got to CTK, where I was confident, like I definitely average under par at CTK. We started on hole 18, which I was a little, I don't know. I didn't want to start on hole 18 because I've had that hole dialed all year. Like I think every rated round I've played there, I've gotten 18 with like basically a tap in. So starting on that made me a little like, but I want to be warmed up for this hole, and ended up just like taking a really easy par on it. And then what's the new position on 2 I'd never played before. So if you don't know it, it's like you chuck one out into the field, and then it's a big hyzer approach now, versus previously you could pretty much see the pin if you got your tee shot into the field, and now you've got a hyzer around a big tree. So I, put my tee shot in the woods and threw a big scramble shot out, and I got myself like an 8-foot par putt from the wooden frame, and we're walking up to it, and I don't know. So I was playing with Adam Nelson all weekend, but I don't know who said it. Somebody said like, I don't like that wooden frame. And I was like, I like the wooden frame. It adds like a nice like depth perception to your upshot. And I was going on about this wooden frame is great. And then I walk up and I have to put my mini down. Like my disc is touching the wooden frame. So when I put my mini down, I have to stand in like a little of like a ballerina kind of stance with my foot like fully sideways. And I'm still talking about how like the wooden frame's fine. And I just duff my 8-foot putt against the chains, and it like falls out the side. And then it started pouring, basically, is how the story goes. So I bogeyed when I should have just been playing really clean for like 6 holes. Or I think it started raining. We were on hole 7. So like I mess up that hole, which is pretty much a birdie hole for me. It should have been a tap in par. And then I actually managed to get a handful of birdies, even with the rain. That very first hole when it rained, I immediately threw out of bounds. the rain was shocking with like the wind coming through. But honestly, like I kept that round together. I missed a few really makeable putts in the rain. I think I was just rushing. Definitely a stressful amount of rain and wind. But I was playing with Adam Nelson. I was playing with Kyle Denman during that round, and it was actually really nice. Like we kind of kept the conversation going the whole time, trying to pretend we weren't like miserable. But, you know, both of those rounds on the first day were right around my rating, just a little bit above, a little bit below. So no big deal. So fast forward to the next day, I walked into that round thinking, all right, I'm 5 over from pretty much all the rain round. I can shoot 6 down here. I've done it in rounds before. I'll just show up. I'll shoot 6 down. I'll walk away for the tournament like under par and be happy. Not even thinking about money or anything, just like kind of as a goal. And that didn't work out. Like it was one of those rounds where nothing seemed to go right. The wind was very windy. I think the missed 8-footer the day before was like still in my head. And like I made a joke about it on my first like 8-footer of the day and did the same exact thing and like duffed it against the chains on the slightly right side and it just like flopped out. So it was rough. And I basically was fighting with Adam Nelson to get last place and I couldn't pull it off. And I got second to last. And it was just one of those rounds where I did a lot of good throws and a lot of good putts, and then I would like squander good holes with bad shots, racking up strokes. So it was tough, but I'm kind of just gonna like move on from that round and like try to forget some of the weirdness and just focus on what went well. So it was still a fun weekend. Say thanks to Kyle Denman for being super positive card mate. I had him 2 rounds. And he managed to really fight back from his kind of miserable round at Moreau. And he actually eagled hole 10 at CTK with just a perfect Berg forehand, like throw in from halfway down the fairway. So that was a big highlight for Sunday.
It's always fun to try to forget a round by talking about it on Monday and then hearing about it on Friday, though. Sure.
I definitely said that over the weekend. I was like, I have to talk about this again.
At least you could skip this part when we get to the... I'll try to make a Randy skip in the chapter mark. No. But hey, you went and you came back. How far is CTK for you? Is it about an hour?
Yeah, it's like 50 minutes ish. It's a good amount. It's not too bad.
And Corey.
It was kind of in the middle of a spree of like really bad luck. I feel like I've had over the past few weeks. Like first I had that flat tire in my new to me car on the way to Dubs that I had to deal with. And then I lost my hot water tank. So that was down for actually a couple of days before I realized it was actually broken. So then I had this whole day trip to the Saratoga racetrack, which I was not responsible in the fact that I got way too drunk, like more drunk than I have gotten in a while. So that when I've got the ride home, I got kind of sick coming down the Northway. And it's been a long time since I've puked out of a car doing 75 miles an hour. So I can only imagine what the traffic behind us saw. And then after that, like I actually got like actually sick for, I don't know, like a week. Couldn't play Dubs. Felt like garbage for the Stony Kill Scramble, which I'm going to attribute mine and Bohanski's poor results on. Because if I was at 100%, we probably could have went 18 down and took the win.
That would have only been by like 2 strokes.
Yeah, that still would have been a win though. So then, yeah, and then I had to deal with my hot water tank being broken. So I did that. And then fast forward to this past Saturday for New York State Championships. I wake up in the morning feeling like, well, not feeling like P. Diddy.
Yeah, not anymore.
I don't know what the song changed to, but no. I get in my Altima, I get it all packed up. I head out for this 1.5-hour drive or whatever to get to Moreau, and going down my driveway, I hear this. I have a stone driveway, so I hear this like pop noise, and I thought it was just me driving over a rock. I start going down the road, and sorry for anyone I've already told this story to, because I feel like I've said it a dozen times, but I'm going down the road, and all of a sudden I notice that like my steering wheel is like 90 degrees out of alignment, which doesn't just happen for no reason. Like I didn't hit a curb or nothing like that. So I pull over, I get out of the car, and I start walking around it to see like what the hell's going on. So I go down the driver's side, everything looks fine. I go down the passenger side, and my passenger side rear tire is like folded in, like the top of the tire is like folded into the car, and the tire is pointing, like if you're standing behind it, it's pointing to the right, like it's not straight anymore. So I'm like, what the fuck? So now I'm like scrambling, like how am I getting to Moreau for the first round of states? Do I have to like cancel? Do I have to like try to get someone to pick me up or whatever? Turn around, park the car, get my truck, put air in the tire in the truck because that's got a slow leak. I shoot up the Northway, doing 65 miles an hour, and I get to town of Moreau, get to Stewart's, get some necessities like a sandwich and an energy drink. I come out, tires flat, as I was just doing 65 down the Northway the whole way. So whatever, put air in the tire, and it ended up being fine for the rest of the weekend. But I get back on Sunday after the third round from CTK, and I'm like, let me figure out what's going on with the car. I thought maybe it was just something simple like a control arm or some other type of link or whatever. I jacked the car up. The whole rear subframe is broken. The thing that like holds all of the suspension components in the back of the car, like rotted, rusted, and broke. So I'm done with that car. I'm looking for a new one. I'm looking for another car.
What's wrong with all the other cars you have?
Well, most of them are like summer vehicles, and the truck is not the most fuel efficient. So I'm currently looking for preferably a 4-door sedan that I can purchase and enjoy. That's not a Ford, because I don't drive Fords or any other Ford-related vehicle like Lincolns or Jaguars or like that. But so if any listeners have a car they're trying to get rid of because they're trying to upgrade, I have a wide spread of options. I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. So so then Sunday afternoon I spent a lot of hours looking at Facebook Marketplace and other car-related websites trying to think about what my next purchase is going to be. Another Nissan, maybe an Infiniti, maybe a nice Toyota Camry, maybe a 1998 Honda Accord 5-speed, no emissions. So now everyone's up to date on my life.
Nice.
And I'm just getting over being sick. Hopefully my voice sounds better. I wasn't even sure if I was going to play it, given how shitty I felt before. Like I just didn't know if I'd be able to, if I had the energy to play 3 rounds of disc golf. Like the week leading up to it, I had not even left the house other than to go to administer J-dubs. Like all I did was lay in bed and then move to the kitchen and then back to bed all week. So like I didn't think my back was going to be able to even hack it. But the night before the tournament, I had kind of made a joke to Kyle Hirsch and Bohanski that, cards are out, and oh my God, look at that. I'm playing with Barsby and a couple other people, and to try to bait them into looking at cards and seeing that up. And then lo and behold, I did pull the lucky card, and I got to play round 1 with Greg Barsby, Justin Muccelli, and Thomas Rascona's brother to the south, Phil Rascona.
Phil Thraskinator.
Philip Raskinator, yep. So I had played Moreau only one time before, and so it was pretty cool to start the tournament on lead card, round 1, playing with Champ.
Just to be clear, though, is that really lead card?
Yeah, Pat, it's actually a lead card. That's what I said.
Okay.
Feature card.
Feature card.
Yeah, feature card.
It's lead card. We're literally leading.
Don't you have to earn lead card?
I did earn it by randomly being picked. What do you mean?
Okay. Fair enough.
We led the group starting from hole 1.
Okay.
So, I had never met the guy before. I wasn't really sure how it was going to be, but he ended up being like super cool to play with, super cool to hang out with. He did have a lot of talks about previous experiences and, his championships and stuff, but it wasn't like over the top or like super, big headed of him. It was just cool to hang out, cool talk. Playing with Phil and Justin's always fun as well. We started hole 1. The funny thing is, out of the 4 of us, there was only one birdie, and that was Muccelli. And then we get to hole 2 on the ace hole, and I don't think that a single one of us gave it a good run. Maybe Phil Rascona actually gave it a decent run. We get to, I think, hole 5, and I literally hit like 1 inch low on the cage for an ace. Hole 6, I barely missed the basket and have to have like a 40-foot comebacker that I missed. So the first half of Moreau, I was playing pretty well. The vibes were good on the card. It didn't even feel like a tournament. It kind of just felt like we were having like a casual doubles round. I think I got down to like 4 down. I was feeling really good. And then we get to the back nine of Moreau, and it just ate me up. And I was giving away all the birdies I had just collected. So I think after round 1, I was in like middle of the pack, like 2 down or something like that. I think what actually propelled Jeremy Kasprick to his MA1 win was the fact that I gave him a ride to CTK for that second round. I think we had some quality time that just, I don't know, I think he really appreciated it, and that kind of just carried him to play well at CTK the next 2 rounds. But like everybody else said, I had been looking at the forecast. I knew round 2 at CTK was going to be a shit show as far as rain. I did not expect the amount of wind that was going to be coupled with it. And I also made the decision before going up that day to bring my cart, which I haven't even used in probably I don't know, at least a year, it feels like. I couldn't remember like what the bench situations were, like the holes at Moreau, and if we were going to have backups, and same thing with CTK. So, kind of coming over my sickness, I knew I was going to be low on energy, and I was not going to want to carry around a bag filled with tons of water and a bunch of towels and stuff. So I dragged my card around CTK as well. And whatever reason why it turned out the way that Jamin set up the cards that he did, I'm assuming because after playing the Flex tournament, seeing how some of the backups kind of created. Going into CTK round 2, I had assumed that I'd be starting on like hole 5 or something like that based on, where I was placed in MPO at the time. Until when my card mates was like, where are you going? We're starting on hole 14, which ends up being like the furthest walk out, which also means the furthest walk back. But also, once we got through half of our round, which is about when the rain and wind started, we had just popped out into the woods. So when the weather hit us, we literally got the hole 1. So we played all of the open holes 1 through 9 in the absolute shit show of the weather. And then as soon as we got done with hole 9, like the weather like stopped. And that's when we went back into the woods.
Sounds like you're blaming Jamin.
Oh, no. I think it was great because Jamin also gave us I think we started on 14 and I think the next card didn't start until 18. So we didn't have any backups. We were able to basically play at our own pace, which was great because in shitty weather, the last thing I want to do is be standing there waiting on the card ahead of us. And I somehow lost my Innova umbrella at some point. So on the way up there, I stopped at Walmart and I'm like, I'll just buy a golf umbrella because it'll probably be a similar size and should be just as good. Except for the fact that it fucking leaked all over me. Like, I don't know. What is the point of buying an umbrella if it doesn't even, if it's not waterproof? I mean, I understand there's sun umbrellas, but at least be waterproof. So in this storm, I'm underneath my umbrella and it's still raining on me. So that round, it felt pretty bad for me. I wasn't able to grip a disc at all. On hole 13, our last hole, which is throwing over the pond, the disc literally fell out of my hand and I don't even think I reached halfway into the pond. But I somehow was able to play fairly clean-ish. So on the walk back, I hadn't looked at scores at all, and I'm kind of depressed about my +2 round. But then lo and behold, +2 was actually pretty good, and I think it was 980-ish rated, because a lot of other people struggled way harder in those conditions. CTK is already kind of a tough course, but if you throw some wind at it, it's even tougher. If you throw some rain at it, it's even tougher. But throwing wind and rain, it's just an absolute monster. So once that second round was finally done, we were all just trying to just get through the round as fast as possible. None of us, I don't think a single person out on the course actually enjoyed playing that round. But in any case, once that round was over, I had a nice long drive back to Ravine to think about it. Sunday, I decided that, since my car broke, I didn't really feel like driving my truck. I was going to drive right by Brian Bickersmith's house anyways to go up there. We would carpool. So we went up there, and of course, we're the first ones there, like we usually are when I arrive at Brian. And my only goal was to not play as bad as I did the day before in the rain, which was +2. And I thought that even though it was windy with no rain, that'd be easy to do. And then I double bogeyed my second hole, which automatically put me right where I was the previous day. I thought that the rain was the problem the day before, but it really wasn't, because I think it was the wind. And I struggled to try to really put a good round together, round 3. But somehow in the last few holes, I was able to birdie a few to get me back to that +2 mark, which I said it was the same score I threw in the shittier day. But it was kind of nice that it was a little cooler with no rain, because I was able to play in sweatpants and hoodies, which I think a lot of disc golfers would agree is some of the best weather to play disc golf in. But overall, I had 3 great rounds of card mates. Tournament really went off without a hitch. Really appreciated the free energy drinks that were provided for the tournament players, because I definitely took advantage of those. And I'm really glad that New York State Champs was able to be played at the courses that we played them at. And I think, Jamin and all the other volunteers and tournament directors did a really great job at putting it on. So overall, a great experience, even with the shitty weather.
Nobody was on the card with Kyle in round 1, right?
Nope.
No, we were looking at scores, but Yeah, we didn't have any context for it.
So he shot was it minus 14?
Yep.
Minus 14. Yeah.
1074 rated. Jamin, I'm assuming that's the course record?
Yeah. By a long shot.
Was there a number before that?
No.
I mean, the course is relatively new, right?
Yeah, that was really like the first real anything that's happened on that layout. There's been like a couple tag leagues and stuff, but that's about it. Certainly no 14 unders.
So one of the things about that round is, I mean, by the time people listen to this, they'll have already had the opportunity to figure it out. But that 1074 is unofficial.
Mhm.
So it could be really interesting what happens or what has happened on the rating update to see if Justin Muccelli's round fluctuates at all from the Paint Bureau Pro League round.
Didn't he get like a 13 down or something?
Oh, yeah, I was on that card. Yeah.
1073 or whatever it was rated.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal round.
What course was this?
It was J Park playing, I think, the J South layout.
What's that layout?
It plays hole 36, so the one with the big boulder at the end.
Okay.
And then it's most of the holes
Home
on
run.
that side of the road, and a few that you cross like 3 through 6.
Okay.
But yeah, it was final round. So top 3 points people, myself, Harry Lehman, Justin Muccelli got to be on the card together. And I mean, Justin had some like amazing shots. Hole 34, the tennis court hole, his drive was pin high, maybe like 38 feet left. And
Holy
he
crap.
made the eagle putt.
So he got into the woods?
Yeah, what did he play there? Did he go over the top? Did he roll?
Yeah, over the top with kids playing basketball in there, riding their bikes or something. So, you know, Harry and I just out of abundance of safety took the lower play. But
You said what, like 36, 38 feet to the left of the basket? Do you mean like kind of where the old basket was?
yeah, he was closer to where the old basket was
Wow.
than the new one.
That's incredible.
Had you ever seen anybody get to the old pin location like that?
Yes, Justin. This sounds amazing because it is, but this kid literally does it like almost every time he plays it, especially in doubles. Like I watched him do it in doubles a few weeks ago when he was partners with Chad Mendriza. There's been tales of him literally parking the old basket in the past. It's amazing that he can do it. It's not just amazing that he can do it, but also the consistency that he's able to do it during an actual like competitive round.
Yeah, I've seen him overthrow that hole too, like go too far. But I think he hit enough branches that it just dropped in a really good spot. But so anyway, aside from like the incredible play that he did on some holes, he also had like the most phenomenal luck that I've ever seen on a card too. And he had these really lucky shots and he just capitalized on them. Like hole 36, I had a really good drive for me, like up the gut with the destroyer, landed pretty much, you know, left to center up top. Justin hits a tree on the right and like redirects his disc past mine and then like, you know, takes advantage of it, has an amazing upshot and parks it for birdie. It was really, really great to watch. He just couldn't mess up. Everything was just going his way. It was pretty cool.
So when it's all said and done, it's rated, what was it, a 13 down or was it 14 down?
I think 13.
And like 1073 rated, I think.
That sounds right. That's the number I had in my head.
Brian kind of started this stat tracking last year, and Justin was trying to pick it up for this year as far as like hottest rounds thrown by discap area players.
Right.
And I think previously, like Danny White, like 1040 rounds. I think Kyle Hirsch and Danny White had thrown like 1040 rounds in different events. And then for Justin to just come out swinging and throw like a 1070 plus round, 30 points higher than anyone has ever seen in the area is just kind of mind-blowing. And especially on a league night where a lot of times people complain that league ratings are soft or not soft, but they're low. Harsher. Yeah, it's probably the better way to say it. And I think that was also a bogey-free round too, right, Jason?
It had to have been, yeah.
Yeah.
I just pulled it up. It was 1071.
1071, okay.
And did he steal second place from your mechanic, Jason?
He sure did, yeah. I gave him the points he needed to bump Harry down to third. Going into that night, Harry was leading Justin by a few points. But yeah, that was a great round.
Wait, actually, does that have an opportunity to change?
What was the rating on that round?
I think his was 1071. Is that what we said, Jamin? Or Alex, whoever?
Yeah, 1071 for Justin, 1074 for Kyle.
It'll be interesting to see if those round ratings change once they become official, to see if either of them go up or down, to see who really has the highest rated round ever thrown in disc cap.
Mm-hmm. Is ratings updates
tomorrow? So that'll go official official in the morning.
Yep.
Nice.
So in the MPO division, Justin Muccelli and Matt Stacklecker shot -11 for third place. Kyle Hirsch in second at -19. And your winner, Corey's feature card mate, Greg Barsby, -23.
It's also kind of interesting that I don't want to do the math off the top of my head right now, but whatever Kyle's like 10-20-ish rated tournament average, like to think that you could average 10-20 in a tournament in this area and come in second place is pretty mind-blowing. I mean, it's a crazy feat.
Top 3 places were all 1,000 rated average tournaments, and it's not uncommon for somebody to win a disc cap tournament at 965 average.
Yeah. 1074, 996, 1013, second place. I mean, Greg Barsby shot a 1059 at CTK on Sunday, though, right?
Yep, that's also the course record, that 11 down.
Sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had the record. I just know you shot really well there previously. So
Yeah, the win probably helped him, though.
All right. Well, we did picks for the New York State Championships. But before we get to the picks, I just want to say 2 things. One, this is not a perfect system. In hindsight, we probably should have done 2 MA1s and 1 wild card because of the layout differences.
I think you guys did all right. I mean, that added like an extra degree of wild cardness. Like it made it like a wild card.
Absolutely.
I like the idea of having some sort of incentive to reach down the board a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, for me, the whole point of it is just to talk about people. And like you say, there's more people that we can talk about. Now, mind you, had we done 2 MA1 picks, somebody probably would have picked Jeremy Cashbrick. So
True.
We don't get that drama.
Drama. No, now we got other types of drama.
I got a message earlier today, Mike Zanchelli. Hey, did I win picks? And I'm like, oh, I hadn't even done the math yet. So I did the math and I was like, nope.
Spoiler.
I'll spoil this too. He didn't even come in second.
Oh.
And he had Barsby.
Who, best score of the weekend, I think, right?
Yeah. And 2, I do want to thank Terry Hudson and Ryan Travis 148343 for their lively debate. I have no doubt it got the vote count up because more people saw it. So looking at the vote count, we had 4 players making picks. With 4 votes, he had Tucker Kozlowski, Kristen McDonald, and Alex Potts. And myself was Alex, because I just threw that vote in there a few minutes ago just, to get your vote count up.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Alex Potts had Tucker Kozlowski, Kyle Denman, Cody Conine, Ross O'Toole, and Robert Hallam. Tucker had 181, Kyle 187, Cody Conine 166 in the MA2 division. Ross O'Toole also in the MA2 division had 182, and Robert Hallam, his MA1 pick, had a 197 for a total of 913 points, which is a lot of points. But apparently that's the theme because this is a lot. Next, we had with 25% of the vote, that is 10 votes. He had Kyle Hirsch, Ryan Nelson, Randy Bemis, Cole Scambati, Sparky Spalding, Eric Heinel, Ivan Marmota, Ryan Travis 148343, Frank DeGregs, and Kevin Cronky. That's Jamin. His picks, he had in the MPO division, Andrew Cochran, who had 180 points, Ethan Haters in the MA1 division with 189, Kyle Hirsch with 166 in the MPO division, Michael Smith, MA40 with 171, and Logan Akins in the MA2 division with 182 for a total of 888 points. Jamin Hume is your new leader. 20 or so points better than Alex. Next closest with 27% of the vote, he had Antonio Albert, Kathleen Bemis, Will Byrne, Mike Schwartz, Mike Zanchelli, Andrew Jolson, Alex Potts, Brandon Klein, Jacob Dunbar, Joe Gaspardi, and Terry Hudson. That was Mike Zanchelli, not Randy Bemis, who obviously his wife didn't vote for him. Mike Zanchelli had Greg Barsby, who won the MPO division at 162. Brad Schott, also in the MPO division at 175. Alex Potts, who came in third in the MA1 division at 193. Jason Gorsage, I think second place in MP40 at 195. And Jace Carter in the MA3 division with 194 points for a grand total of 919 points, which puts him in third place. And our vote winner with 37% of the vote, he had Chris Dahl, Kathleen Bemis, who apparently voted twice, Jason Lasasso, Brian Bickersmith, Travis Pashore, Bobby Hallam, Savannah Burke, Sean Patrick, Zarin Ramsey, Adam Dahl, Eric Heinel, Aaron Holtby, Peter Hodge, Shane Delimitor, and Brian Monahan. That was Randy. His picks in the MP40 division, Jason Lasasso, who won that division with a 180. Peter Hodge in the MA1 division with a 198, Brian Bickersmith in the MP40 division with a 200, Andrew Dorrell in the MPO division with a 187, and because I got to choose, I chose Corey Cook instead of himself with a 187 for 952 points because his actual pick, who was it?
Whit Stevenson.
Whit Stevenson dropped. So you got 952 points, fourth place.
It was all my fault.
Yeah. If you had shot a 0, he would have won. So it looks like Jamin Hume is our pick winner at 888 points.
Nice.
It's a good number.
Yeah, Andrew Cochran, Ethan Hatters, Kyle Hirsch, Michael Smith, and Logan Aiken. So just to see if I could beat that, I picked Matt Shackler in the MPO division, who shot a 174. And fresh off of his 13 down at Paint Bureau Pro League, I took Justin Muccelli, who also shot a 174. In the MA1 division, I took the no-brainer Jeremy Cashbrick because Alex didn't, so might as well do it myself. He got 182. Yep. I also took, in the MA3 division, Charles Carpenter Jr. III with his 168. And in the MA2 division, Joshua Lee with a 172. I ended up with 870 points in this much flawed picks.
So what'd you win by?
18.
Yeah.
Oh, only 18. That's not bad.
Which isn't bad. Like I said, I think because of the layout switch, if we had done 2 MA1s and 1 wild card, it would have made it a little tighter. But it was still pretty tight. I mean, if Randy didn't lose his pick, looks like only 30, 40 points between first and fourth. So,
yeah.
Anything else on New York States?
Where is it next year, Jamin?
Central New York. From what I understand, and there's nothing to really back this up, it's going to be at like Greek Peak.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
That'll get me there for the first time.
Yeah, Binghamton area. I'm excited.
Have you played there before?
No, I want to. It's just a hard place to get out. Their tournaments always seem to coincide with something. They did a Greek Peak tournament the same weekend as Warwick, that kind of thing. You know, it's the same thing that's we're always talking about, how there's just so many things that you can do every weekend that it's really hard to get to new stuff.
You know, once we start to get out of tournament season and into team challenge season, we should probably, or maybe this is, you know, January when we start talking about the next season of tournaments, but going through like which tournaments were our favorites of the year, which ones we want to go back to, which ones we're never going back to if we can avoid it, that sort of thing.
That's a very good point. All right. Anybody got time for a quiz? We're running a bit late. So if anybody's got a ditch, I ain't going to be, you know, not that I would ever be upset.
Yeah, I'm probably going to hop off.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind skipping this one.
I mean, I'm staying up until the end of the Jets game.
I am definitely not doing that. They just went to halftime, right?
Yeah.
Fuck no, I'll be passed
What's the score?
7-16, Jets are down.
You have to edit the football talk out.
Oh, absolutely.
I need Breece Hall to get another touchdown in order to win my fantasy game.
I need the Dutch to get their fucking heads out of their asses. Not trying to start the season 0-1.
All right. So Corey and Caitlin are definitely out. Thank you, Caitlin, for sticking
Thanks
through
for
that.
having me.
Yeah.
If you want to pop on anytime during Team Challenge, absolutely, you're more than welcome to. Basically, anytime you want to come on. So,
all right, I got to give you this audio clip. Thanks, Pat. Later, fellas.
See ya.
See ya.
Jason, you good?
If we do it quick, I'm kind of a little faded, but
We're down to 2-on-2, so it should be much quicker.
yeah.
So, since you're the MP40 winner, who's your partner?
I mean, all three of the guys are good. So Corey's gone.
All right. Well, you get to go first, and we'll say, Jamin, who do you want as your partner? Do you have a preference?
Ooh.
Oh, you know what? I think we should put Jamin with Randy because last week was not his good luck with Randy.
Okay.
Okay, I can drag Alex down. That's cool.
Yeah, between Stony Kill and Trivia, he did not get to play with Randy. So we'll do Jamin and Randy.
There you go.
Jason did win MP40, so he gets to go first. Well, I got 3 categories, 1, 2, or 3. We're going to only do 2, though. Jason and Alex, what category? Jalix.
I have no preference.
Oh, wait, there's 2 categories?
There's 3, but we're only doing 2. So you get to pick
okay.
1, 2, or 3.
I always like 1.
Sure.
All right, question 1, category 1. Doing physics experiments deep in the Earth protects the results from being contaminated by what type of rays from the Greek for universe? Doing physics experiments deep in the Earth protects the results from being contaminated by what type of rays from Greek for universe?
I do not know the Greek for universe. I know lots of different types of rays, but...
Me too. I probably know too many types. But I'm thinking, is cosmos Greek? Would it be
cosmic rays makes much more sense.
because you do it down in there. The only ones that really go through are like neutrinos and stuff. I don't think cosmic rays would go through the Earth.
I think cosmic rays is... I really like that answer. I think that's right.
Okay.
Stingrays.
Going with cosmic?
Cosmic.
Is the cosmic a disc?
Is the power cosmic a disc?
Isn't that a plastic? It's like MVP?
Yeah, so MVP makes cosmic blank. That's their swirly plastic. So like cosmic neutron, cosmic electron, that sort of thing. It's an adjective, so it doesn't really make sense as a disc name. I'm happy saying no.
I could go either way, but the adjective thing does feel weird. Let's go now.
Sounds good.
Alpha Discs, February 14th, 2022, the Cosmic. All right, Jamin and Randy, 1, 2, or 3?
Do you want to break the mold and go 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, question 1, category 2. In 2023, Post Malone paid big bucks for a card from what enduring card game that featured the One Ring from Lord of the Ring? In 2023, Post Malone paid big bucks for a card from what enduring card game that featured the One Ring from Lord of the Ring?
Alex giggled, so the answer is Magic, right?
Magic the Gathering, yeah.
Is the Magic a disc?
Yes, it is a gateway player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gateway Disc Sports, January 4th, 2008. All right.
Yeah. I figured I wasn't giving away too much since we had discussed it.
Yeah.
That's why it's question 1, not question 6. Jason and Alex, 1 or 2? 3 has been eliminated.
I like 1.
Sure.
Question 2, category 1. Made popular in a 1982 Spielberg film, what word means originating outside of the Earth? Made popular in a 1982 Spielberg film, what word means originating outside of the Earth?
I thought ET was like 84, but I'm guessing extraterrestrial.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Wait, let me overthink this.
Mm-hmm.
Does extraterrestrial...
I mean, it definitely means not of this Earth, extraterrestrial.
And it was a Spielberg film?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be ET.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure ET is a Spielberg film.
It is. I know it is.
All right, cool. I'm real happy with ET then.
What word means originating outside of the Earth?
Extraterrestrial.
It was definitely an 82. I just double checked it. 82 film. Is the extraterrestrial a disc? I only asked for clarification because you said ET, Alex, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Is the official movie title like ET the Extraterrestrial or something like
Yes.
that? Okay.
Absolutely.
I feel like yes, but I'm also feeling very much like I'm second guessing myself constantly with this.
I feel like if we're unsure, we should just go yes. And then also because discs are like, UFOs, and there's just that kind of vibe to them. There's more likely something extraterrestrial than not, I think.
I'm pretty confident there's at least one company that's making, like UFO or flying saucer type discs.
Yeah. I think we go yeah.
Happy with yes.
Trash Panda Disc Golf, August 19th, 2024.
Trash Panda.
They have the Extraterrestrial 1 and the Extraterrestrial 2.
Nice.
But I don't count numbers necessarily, but this is the Extraterrestrial 1.
The sequel that Steven Spielberg.
Direct to VHS.
All right, that's 3-2.
That's what I got.
Jamin and Randy, 1 or 2?
Want to keep going?
Yeah. Let's just keep going down to
2. All right, question 2, category 2. Because of his many inventions, Thomas Edison was given the nickname the what of Menlo Park? Because of his many inventions, Thomas Edison was given the nickname the what of Menlo Park?
It's just wizard.
You think so? The wizard? The genius?
No.
The magician?
Wizard is the only thing that came to my mind.
The wizard. Yeah, I don't hate it.
You guys good? Not that I'm sure if what you're good with, but
I think we both just fell asleep.
I can't think of literally anything else. I'm trying to say other words. And
the inventor of very literal at Menlo Park. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can't think of anything because you have the right answer.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Let's
wizard.
go wizard.
Is the wizard a disc?
Nice, Randy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think. Does anybody, Jason,
Yes.
have you ever heard of a wizard?
Jason?
It's not PG approved though, so be careful.
Not the one with the guy flexing his muscles on it.
Right, the training one.
Yeah.
Gateway Disc Sports, January 9th, 2002. I have one with Liam on it.
Do you younger disc golfers know that about the training wizards?
Yeah, they're like 200 grams. Or
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're the same age.
Yeah, but you've been playing disc golf less time.
I know.
4-3. Jason and Alex, what do you got? 1 or 2?
I feel pretty happy with either category.
Yeah,
so.
we got like space or magic stuff.
Yeah.
I'm good with either. Is there a strategy here?
Do we think they're slightly less scientifically inclined or, space inclined? So maybe we go for magic-y stuff and force them into the other
You're
one?
insulting
I don't
us,
know.
Randy.
Yeah, what the? This comes from the North mythologist.
You probably have a leg up on the magic stuff, right?
I feel pretty good about the magic stuff, but
Maybe
as soon as I say anything confidently, it's going to bite me in the butt. So.
Okay, I feel pretty comfortable with the space stuff too, so I'm good with either one.
Let's go with the space stuff. Let's stick with what we know so far.
Okay, we'll go 1.
All right. Question 3, category 1. The largest of what type of space rock discovered on Earth was 9 feet long and weighed an estimated 60 tons? The largest of what type of space rock discovered on Earth was 9 feet long and weighed an estimated 60 tons?
I mean, got to be meteorite. Like all of the other names I'm thinking of stop being those things as soon as they get to Earth.
So like asteroid is in space, right?
Yeah, I don't think it continues to be an asteroid once it's on Earth.
Right, a meteor's a disk.
Meteor is a disk. Meteor, yeah, but I'm pretty sure meteor is not. Yeah, I think it's a meteor until it hits the Earth, and then it's a meteorite. I think that's what it is.
That makes sense.
They are nerds, Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm half remembering this stuff, and I'm very much second guessing myself, but I feel pretty good about meteorite.
Okay, yeah, we'll go meteorite.
Is the meteorite a disk?
Pat, is it meteorite or meteor?
The meteorite.
Does Discraft make a macro disk of the meteor?
The captain's meteor.
Yeah, right?
It's got to be a different company then, I would think.
It'd have to be a different company.
And is Pat going to get...
It feels like too good of an answer to not be a disc.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it is a disc.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning that way too. So let's lock it in.
All right, final answer.
Galaxy Disc Golf, March 8th, 2017.
That's a bad disc name, right? It's something that's laying on the ground. So it's like, you don't throw it. Once you throw it, it becomes a meteor again.
Yeah, right?
All right, Jamin and Randy, 1 or 2?
Should we stay in our predetermined category by the other team?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten the last one. I would have said meteor like a layman. So I guess we go with 2.
Yeah, I would have too. Yeah, that's a...
Mm-hmm.
All right, question 3, category 2. A common example used in teaching thermodynamics is a cylinder containing gas and what engine part?
Fuck.
A common example
So easy.
teaching thermodynamics is a cylinder containing gas and what engine part?
It's got to be a piston, right?
Yeah. That doesn't line up with the category, but that's literally the only word.
Oh, I know what the category is.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's go with piston.
Yeah, let's go.
You guys go with piston?
Yep.
Is the piston a disc?
I just keep coming up with the corniest jokes. I'm keeping them to myself. Is the piston a disc?
I lost a piston in the woods. That's awful. Terrible. Oh man, I don't like it, honestly.
Okay. I'm not sold on either way. So if you think that it's not a disc, let's go with that. You're a whippersnapper. So
I've never heard of it. I kind of want to go now.
Let's go now.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Nice.
Woo.
Good thinking.
For the lead. All right, Jason and Alex, 1 or 2?
I am more confident in sticking with 1 now.
All right, me too.
All right, question 4, category 1. The flag resolution of 1777 stated the stars in the Union represented a new what in the heavens? The flag resolution of 1777 stated the stars in the Union represented a new what in the heavens?
I don't know the answer, but I have a pretty good guess.
I don't have any idea.
I mean, constellation?
That fits the theme. 13 stars on the flag represent...
It was the colonies originally.
Yeah, could you say the question one more time, Pat?
The flag resolution of 1777 stated the stars in the Union represented a new what in the heavens?
I think constellation fits.
It makes sense. Yeah, let's go with that.
Is the constellation a disc?
I think so.
I mean, I like all these space things as this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it is. I feel like I've seen it. I don't have any hard evidence, but I do feel like I've seen it.
I like it. Let's go for it.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry, no.
Oh,
Dang it.
damn it.
Jamin and Randy, 1 or 2?
Keep going.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
So question 4, category 2?
Yep.
question 4, category 2. The United States Air Force's stealth fighter aircraft known as the F-22 also bears what name, meaning bird of prey? The United States Air Force's stealth fighter aircraft known as the F-22 also bears what name, meaning bird of prey?
That would be the Raptor.
Yep.
You guys good?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Raptor a disc?
It is.
It
Just reminded me that I wanted to buy one, so I'm going to buy one right now.
Discraft, December 28th, 2018.
Are you thinking capped wrap or regular?
Regular
Damn.
Raptor.
Oh, regular.
Because I can't figure out a question for Captain Raptor. So.
That is very specific.
I don't think I need anything as overstable as the Captain Raptors. The Craptor, as they're called on the streets.
Affectionately.
Jamin and Randy up by 2, 8-6.
Yeah. Yep.
All right,
I
Jason.
think go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Jason and Randy, 1 or 2. Jason and Alex, 1 or 2. Oh, yeah.
I think we gotta try and force them into space.
You are pretty tall. You could.
I mean, I'm not feeling super confident with the category on 2, but
Yeah, I mean, the other thought is, it's like, do we feel confident enough that we could get one of these, or do we feel that they're going to miss one of them eventually?
we're behind enough. I think we gotta. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's go to 2.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Question 5, category 2. After Black Monday in 1987, sculptor Arturo Di Modica put a statue of what in Manhattan to symbolize strength and power? After Black Monday in 1987, sculptor Arturo Di Modica put a statue of what in Manhattan to symbolize strength and power?
Is that the bull on Wall Street?
Yep.
Bull.
Yeah, happy with bull as an answer.
Is the bull a disc?
There's a taureau. Would they have gone for a taureau if a bull didn't already exist?
Man, I don't know.
There's a bullfrog.
It's close enough. Let's just. I could go either way. Like it's a good name for a disc. There's so many animal names.
Yeah, I have a very hard time saying no anytime it's like a common animal like this.
Yeah, I just haven't seen it, but that's not a good reason. I mean, I haven't seen 90% of these discs, so he's thinking yeah?
I'm thinking yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go yes.
I'm sorry, no.
We are
Not doing well on these.
Jamin and Randy, 1 or 2.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, just stay with 2.
All right, final question, category 2. What author of The Good Earth wrote 5 books using the pseudonym John Sedges? What author of The Good Earth wrote 5 books using the pseudonym John Sedges?
What? This is a little bit of a curveball.
They're supposed to get harder, Jamin.
Okay, it's an author, but this is probably their last
Yeah,
name,
I'm
right?
like thinking
Okay.
Nix.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, that's something.
Yeah.
Joey Nix, of course.
Joey Pelicans. Like, I don't know.
Stevie Nicks.
This just shows by the time you went to high school, you did not have to read this book.
No, I don't know this book.
Gary Paulson, Hatchet. Final answer. No.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Oh.
Okay, this is the last one, right? This is the last one in category 2.
For this category, yeah.
All right. I was considering just starting to list off basketball teams, but that would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm going to stop after like 5, and then that's
Basically,
it,
already
so.
did. Yeah.
I was trying to think of the worst options, unfortunately.
Yeah. The Jazz.
Knicks is like a name. Yeah, Jazz was the only other one that's kind of a name, but then or Celtics is not a last
Nets
name.
could be a last name, but like, I don't know. It doesn't sound like one.
No, I think I'm cool with Knicks.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you got, Jamin and Alex?
Ooh.
Jason and Alex.
I was reading the Be More Specific into Knickerbockers.
I think this was a question like a few years ago.
Oh, yeah? Do you remember the answer?
I do not.
All right. Well, they can't seal it back from us. So what are all the basketball teams we know?
Lakers.
Lakers doesn't make sense. The Heat, Golden State Warriors, Cleveland. What's the Cleveland team? Cleveland Cavaliers, Utah Jazz. There's the Hornets. That's a team. Pelicans. It was Falcons. Falcons is a name.
I have no idea. I'm not a big basketballs guy.
Yeah. Nets, Celtics. I should know more of these.
Clippers.
Clippers.
Who's LeBron James play for?
Currently the Lakers, I think.
Okay, I already said that. All right, so this is the last name of an author.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've said a lot of basketball team names, and none of them have sounded good.
no, I think it's just going to be like a coincidence that his name is the basketball team. But I do feel like Pat asked this question a few years ago, and I don't remember the answer.
Yes, it's a disc, Pat.
Thinking like,
well, we haven't got there yet.
I'm trying to steal the other point without getting the first one.
For some reason I like Laker and Clipper, but maybe that's just because they're teams I know.
I mean, as good as anything else for me. So, yeah.
Oh, Kings?
Oh, King.
King?
Sacramento Kings.
Say that Stephen King? Could be.
Could be. It's just as good as anything else. I feel like it's better than most of the other ones, so I'm happy with King.
Okay.
Good with King?
Yeah.
Yep.
We were looking for Pearl S. Milwaukee Buck.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure if her nickname was Milwaukee or not, but Pearl S. Buck. Nobody? That's surprising.
Nope.
Is the Buck a disc?
No, it is not. Like the bull.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a steal.
Yeah.
But I still have you guys down by 1, Jason and Alex, last round.
All right, space.
Yes. Category 1, question 5. Equal to approximately 225 to 230 million of our years. A galactic year is the time it takes for the solar system to make a trip around what? Equal to about 225 to 230 million of our years. A galactic year is the time it takes for the solar system to make a trip around what?
So our galaxy would be the Milky Way.
Yeah.
A galactic year, I'm assuming, is the time it takes our solar system to go around the galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, that's our solar system goes around a galaxy. I don't think it really goes around anything else.
And what was the number for? It was 250 something.
225 to 230 million years of our years.
That's a long
I saw
time.
multiple interpretations, so I've ranged it.
Right, because then you got to bring in the theory of relativity and stuff. So.
And I'm not bringing in the theory of relativity.
Is it from the observer in the middle of the galaxy, or
Exactly?
Yeah, so it's either galaxy or Milky Way.
I don't think Pat would say galactic standard year if the answer was galaxy.
Because the Milky Way is our galaxy. We give it away if we don't get it, but
yeah, I mean, if we don't get this one, we're pretty locked out of it anyway.
But because he was specific to our solar system, I think then it should be specific to our galaxy, which would be the Milky Way.
Yeah. Just real quick, can I hear the question one more time just to double check?
Equal to about 225 to 230 million of our years, a galactic year is the time it takes for the solar system to make a trip around what?
Yeah, I think it's got to be the Milky Way.
And it's specific in years. So if there was a different galaxy, then it would be different. So it has to be Milky Way.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep.
Is the Milky Way a disk?
It's a candy bar.
This is for the lead.
Yeah. This is another one that I'm feeling like it is a disc, but that did not lead us the right way on the last one. So
it's so silly. I feel like it is. Because, I don't know, Milky Way is a dumb name for a disc, but it's so dumb that it's good.
There's so many dumb names for discs out there.
Yeah. I mean, we've been wrong
so many times.
So I'd say we just keep going till we get one right.
Sounds good to me. I'm happy with yes.
Disc.
Galaxy discs. Galaxy with a K. Today.
No way.
Oh, nice.
September 9th, 2024.
So I have not seen one before.
All right, down by 1. Final question of the night, Jamin and Randy. The source of many observable short-period comets is the belt beyond Neptune named for what Dutch-American astronomer? The source of many observable short-period comets is the belt beyond Neptune named for what Dutch astronomer?
What's the Oort cloud?
Oh, that sounds Dutch.
It does. That's the only reason I'm saying is Oort. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's better than I was like Halley's Comets. Like all I could think of. This feels harder than Milky Way. I'm going to be honest.
I would have gotten that one dead wrong.
Oh yeah, they were like, they'll never get a space question. I'm like, yeah, that's the first one I had. So whatever. I mean, yeah, I think Oort is the closest, or the I'm not gonna think anything better. I don't think
it's a real space related thing, at least.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, let's go with Oort cloud, I guess. Right, Randy? Are we happy with that?
Yeah, it would just be Oort. Yeah.
All right.
What do you got, Jason and Alex?
Fuck.
I've only ever read this name, so I really hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I think it's a Kuiper belt.
Nerd.
You good with that, Jason?
Kuiper.
Yeah, does that sound Dutch?
Why do you know how to spell it?
Because I've only ever read it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I'm good with that.
And it doesn't end up mattering because we've got the lead anyway.
Yeah,
But,
let's go for it then.
Is the Kuiper a disc?
That's way too specific not to be a disc.
I don't even know. I'm happy with saying yes.
Yeah, it's a disc.
I'm sorry, no. But you do win 10-8.
I got there.
So congratulations, Jamin. Jamin, I keep doing that. Jason
Good job,
and
Jamin.
I mean, they are the same person, but
Yeah, you're really giving away our secret.
yeah. Thanks, everybody. Anybody have anything before we go? Any events or anything that I missed?
If you're listening to this, there's may still be a spot open for the Ace race at Colonial Acres. I don't know how many are going to be open at that point, but you could probably just message Mark like the morning of the event and ask to play. He basically said that's totally fine and not annoying. So yeah, just show up and play.
And you can just show up with your own discs, right?
Yes, you can actually.
Yeah, I am volleyballing all weekend, so I'm not going to be able to do it.
Nice. Well, thank you, Jason, Corey, Randy, Alex, Caitlin, and Jamin, and sweet up, Hudson Valley.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
Pat. I'm trying to figure out how to get the football game on in the background.
I can't watch it. I got a DirecTV.
I have access to a Spectrum account, so I'm trying to get it on the actual, like I can just pull it up on the other screen, but
Damn, wait, I have not used this yet this year.
I can't make it go. This interface is confusing.
Oh, there he is, baby. Aaron Rodgers. Let's see if he can double how many plays he did last year.
Do you think there's a wager somewhere of over under 4 plays?
Yes.
There's got to be. There's some scumbag bookie somewhere that's like
Yeah.
taking money from his friends.
You
like,
bet
what's the over-under?
$1,000, you win $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because it's been a few years now, and I still don't understand what half of the stuff means with odds. Just tell me 2-to-1 odds or 3-to-1 odds with this plus 250, and it's like if you bet $100, you can get 250. But then what's the minus mean? I don't.
Yeah. I was up at Saratoga Racetrack, whatever, a couple weeks ago. I didn't know what the hell any of that shit was talking about. Everyone's walking around with books and freaking pamphlets on horses, and everyone's betting like $1. So it's just like pure. It's like degeneracy in its finest. Being at the track just felt like a giant like state fair, or probably more like county fair, with just better dressed people. But all of the scumbaggery and hootenannies and whatnot. It was an experience.
Is OTB still a thing?
That's a great question.
I know where there used to be one, and I think that's something different now. I don't think that's.
I think they sell discs now, actually.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of OTB, it was not until recently watching Disc Golf Network that I learned that it stands for only the best.
Really? Isn't that like all over their site?
Well, I don't go to OT. I don't buy discs from them, but like
Do they have Halo Plastic, Alex? Come on.
No, I only get my Halo Plastic from Adirondack Discs, actually.
Fair.
Or the Innova Factory store.
I'm getting a phone call from Spa Marisk.
Now, OTB sells the best kind of Halo plastic, which is Axiom and MVP.
Oh, don't get me started on that fake Halo bullshit.